Hey MGTOWs, this is Vengeance. I don't know if you recognize me because I'm so emaciated. um, I was 245 and now I'm down to 156 pounds. But if you want to get rid of cancer with fasting, among other things, and if you want the full benefit of the fasting, you gotta start looking scary. So that's what I'm gonna do. And yes, it is scary looking. but well, um, I took off down to Arizona in my camper with my old man, and we had an awesome trip. Those torque lift spring equalizers on the overload springs, man, did they do the job! Oh my goodness! Before, before it was like riding. It felt like the tires were like beach balls or something. It was like ooh, trying to ride on stay in the lane on the freeway. Slightest little breeze would push me right and left, and when a truck goes by, the whole freaking thing would fly everywhere. But no, those spring equalizers or those spring stabilizers did the trick. They bring the overload springs into play, and then you don't have that floaty, scary uh, uh, feeling like you're riding on a beach ball, or your tires are actually beach balls or something. It was like really disquieting, and every time that it would happen, it would just freak me out. I would be like, it would be like, I'd be like, I'd tense way up, and it was like, oh, white knuckle steering, and man, that is not the way to be doing a vacation. So hold on for just a moment. So yeah, the trip went awesome, and I ran into some problems with the electrical system. I think I think it's my fault. I think I made a mistake and I tried to tow the whole camper with the seven-way connection, meaning that I forgot to unplug it and I pulled the thing out, and it's never been the same. I've had a right rear tail light going out, and also the camper wasn't charging intermittently, so the DC powered refrigerator was starting to get warmer, and but luckily my food didn't spoil, so because I just had breakfast out there. I keep all my food out there now because of my weird ass diet that I have to do. So I just do my own shopping, keep my own groceries out there, and then just go on with my life. Sometimes I cook enough eggs and bacon for my old man too, like this morning, and then he had an errand to run and he's out of the house. But basically, yeah, it works out. It's working out very well, and it's so easy to step right out there and make my breakfast, and everything is exactly where I want it to be. The camper weight came with some nice ceramic cookware, and you can flip eggs and make over easy eggs so easy. Yeah, highly recommend ceramic cookware, unless you have somebody who can't cook in your house and obliterates the pan by overheating it. So those ceramic pans are vulnerable to overheating. Just got my ancient old laptop, as you guys can see, and then Microsoft pulled their Windows 7 support, so I went ahead and dual booted with Linux, Ubuntu Linux, and now I'm loaded Chromium because it understands HTML5, so I can get video from YouTube now. And whereas like the Dissenter browser, I just couldn't get HTML5 on there for some reason. But anyway, the Chromium browser, not Google Chrome, the open source Chromium browser, which is Google Chrome is based on that. That's what I'm using right here. Looking at Crypto Jeb, he's a trader, but he has a lot of good Bitcoin information too, so I still subscribe to him. He's always talking about trading this and trading that, but man, I don't trade. The only thing I can do when I trade is lose money. Eventually I may study it again, but not for a while. I got shit to do. I want to get out to my old red truck and tighten up the steering gear because it's really been loose. I mean, you can run it, just wanders all over the thing, and that's probably one of the reasons why I couldn't do the camper with the old 3/4 ton. But even then, even with the 1 ton and airbags, it just was weak. Right? I mean, it was just floating all over the place. So anyway, my long-term plans are to continue to dismantle everything, get rid of everything, get rid of like chest of drawers, mattress, table, everything, and then gradually move into the pickup truck camper as I ramp it up and add better deep cycle batteries and do stuff like that, and make it a real awesome base. And then when the lease expires on this rental house, then I will be ready to pull up stakes and go completely mobile for like a year or so. That would be a heck of an adventure. And then I could run all over the country and do all kinds of permaculture projects, and finally get around to getting my permaculture design course, because I've watched them on YouTube and whatnot, but I've never actually attended one in person. That's on my bucket list. I want to do that. So basically, I want to be like just a very mobile, self-contained person like that. Also, that queen size bed in that camper has got to go. The thing takes way too much space, and I'm only one guy, and I'm not going to be sleeping around, so I'm going to be utilizing this mattress right here. As you can see. And then basically I'll just get rid of that old one, and then I'll have like twice as much room up in that loft in the upper sleeping area in the camper. I'll be able to put other things in there. I might be able to carry some tools. Might be able to just have a lot more room. Put a chest of drawers or something up there. But a lot of what I'm going to be living out of, I believe, it probably will be like luggage, right? I want everything modular, right? So that when I go to a place, if I'm in a situation where I want to move out of the camper temporarily into another accommodation, I can just grab a couple of bags, immediately go. If I can have my personal clothing and everything I need ready, modular, locked up, then grab it, throw, boom, done. That's the plan. And I'm afraid I'm going to have to look scarier than I look now, but I think I've got a chance at beating this cancer without their chemo. And I'm going to do something rather dramatic, I think. I think I'm going to let my medical insurance lapse sooner than it otherwise would. Because the Cobra allows, in Washington State, there's like this situation where you can extend your medical insurance, right? And I did, but man, they raised the price on me, and it's a new year, and I would have a whole big, huge freaking amount of money I'd have to spend before the medical would even come in, right? And then on top of that, every time you go to the doctor, they have about 900 other charges that aren't covered by medical insurance anyway. And I looked at the whole thing, and I looked at it, and it's like, man, it just doesn't pencil out. It's just a waste of money. So when I need some serious medical, I'll just fly my ass down to Mexico, or maybe go to, who knows, Thailand or something, but Mexico's a lot closer. and then I can get all the medical I want there for the price that I would normally pay just for the deductible here. So why spend $1,000 a friggin' month for like 9 more months, like $9,000 or $10,000? Why should I spend that much money when the medical insurance wouldn't really benefit me that much anyway? All of the medical that I've had since I got cancer and walked out on the oncologist, since I don't want their chemo and radiation, all of that, every bit of medical I've had to pay out of pocket for anyway, because medical doesn't cover alternative medicines for cancer. So screw them, I'm out. And I'm going to take all of my money, dump it all into crypto of various forms so that it's locked. And then if for something occurred and I ended up in the hospital or something, they can't just reach out and take everything I own, right? That's the awesome thing about the Bitcoins and other encrypted assets, is those things are untouchable. The only way they can make that move is to threaten you enough so that you knuckle under and send the money. But basically that can work on a lot of people, but it's far less effective on a MGTOW because I don't have any hostages, right? I don't have anybody that they can threaten to cause me to cough it up, right? Whereas if I was married and I had child, whatever, then all those people could say, oh, but what about the children? Oh, what about your children? Oh, you should be so concerned. Oh, well, why don't you care? As better bachelors say, why don't you take care of it? Oh, we don't want about, meaning that they don't care. So anyway, that's the plan. Today I think I actually saw a little sunlight out there today, so I'm going to throw some rain gear on and get out there and adjust my steering gear. Then I'm going to see if I can sell that red truck, because I do not need it. I'm going to sell that thing, dump it into crypto, and lock that puppy down. Does anybody want to buy I'm going to sell it for 10 grand, but I think that if a MGTOW contacts me and wants this truck, I will sell it for 8. And it's a 96 Dodge Ram 3/4 ton with a Cummins V series engine that has no electronics in it. The transmission was rebuilt about 2 years ago and runs like a top, except for one little thing, that loose steering, which I'm going to fix today. And it also has a little squeak in the engine. One of the belt tensioners, I think, is starting to squeak a little bit, and that's about a $30 or $40 part. But basically, it's not a bad squeak, and it's been doing it for a while, but it's mildly irritating. So I would probably change that if I were going to buy that. So if anybody wants a truck, let me know. Failing that, I'm going to sell it for about 10 grand or so. And anything else? That's about all I can think of. I'm still into Bitcoin, still living large. I'm enjoying the, man, I can eat a lot, I can really have a big T-bone steak and everything, and eggs and bacon, and really chow down, and it doesn't, and I still lose weight because it's keto. I just have to keep the carbs way low, almost zero if I can. So other than that, I'm still fighting the cancer, and I think I'm doing it successfully. Still got about 250 billion things I'm taking every day, as you can see, and I got a nice Excel sheet that keeps track of everything, and if I can knock this cancer to zero, I'm going to make the regimen that I'm currently taking. I'm going to put a link to it on my channel, so that if any of our MGTOW brothers runs into this cancer problem, they'll have a template that they can start with. Then they can continue to tweak it after that. And if I am misleading everybody and I end up dying from this shit, then it's better for me to not share it, so that Or maybe I'll share it anyway and just say, well, it didn't work. Too much more information can't hurt, so that's what I'll probably do. All right, MGTOWs, that's about it. I'm going to continue with the working to get more and more independent, more set up in my little abode out there. And this room here is going to soon be totally empty, and then I'm going to get rid of everything in the workshop. I'm going to get rid of all that, the truck, and a bunch of the tools that I do not need anymore. And then I might just begin my new lifestyle this summer after the lease expires, after I help my dad get moved to wherever he's moving to. And there you go. So that's the plan. That's my channel update. And don't get married.